Hi, this is Teresa Blanchard, EL Program Specialist here in Sanger Unified School District. I just wanted to give you a quick tour of our sangerlearns.com website. We have some updates that we've been adding and making, so I wanted to highlight a few of those for you. We have our online resources for teachers, staff, students, and parents right at the top, as well as some social emotional learning resources from Pupil Services. Underneath that, you're going to see a series of icons here for each content area. If you click on the ELD green icon, that will take you to the main EL Services website. We've been adding lots of resources here, so if it's been a while since you've been visiting our website, you may see some brand new things. But I wanted to highlight a couple of them so that you could either share those with your PLC yourself or pass on this video to them so that they can dig in a little deeper into what designated ELD might look like. I'm going to pause this slideshow here and give you a little bit of information about what we're asking for specifically designated ELD. Now, for Sanger Unified, we would like to see at least 2 synchronous or live lessons with students, at least 20 to 30 minutes for each of those sessions per week. Now, that could include some phone check-ins at the beginning of the year as you're getting to know your students. Now, depending on how many students you have or what proficiency levels they are, you're going to want to be creative and work with your PLC to figure out how you would like to best group your students. Now, you also may need to collect some informal speaking and writing samples to be able to group these students into groups that make a difference for them. We also are asking for weekly asynchronous ELD assignments, which could be in the form of choice boards, which I'll highlight in a moment. But it could be different activities that you could, again, use to collect and group your students, to collect language samples, or to have them use their new vocabulary and language skills in engaging ways. So we're going to be going over a lot of those resources that could help you design both your synchronous and asynchronous ELD instruction. With Icebreaker Activities, we really wanted to give permission for PLCs to be able to use these activities to get to know their students, build an environment where students are wanting and willing to participate online. And I know it's difficult because we don't have that face-to-face opportunity to connect with our students, but there's lots of technology and apps that we can use to really get our students speaking. We have lots of Icebreaker activities here for each grade span, and we're going to be adding links and different demos to different activities. Our music team's working closely with us, and I can't wait to show you some of the videos that they are planning and recording. Now, each of these grade spans have activities that actually could be used at any grade level with some adaptation and some adjustment. So we encourage you to look even outside of your grade span to see if there's something that you'd like to do with your students. And we're excited to see pictures and hear updates from teams that try them. I get this question a lot. Where should I focus then my ELD instruction, especially when we are limited in time to be able to connect with our students? So here's a good reminder for us. If all students need the language skill or extra practice, save that lesson for all of your students during your core instruction. But if it's your English learners that you're detecting maybe a pattern or an error that they're making quite often, that's what you want to target in your designated ELD. So we have about 17 to 18 ELD standards per grade level. What you want to do is try to make sure that if your students or your age span is still making some word or phrase level errors, or you're working with newcomers, we really need to make sure that they get their foundational skills during that designated ELD time, those Part 3 ELD standards, and really learning how English works in that Part 2 ELD section as well. As they start making more like sentence level, text level, or maybe they're struggling with overall comprehension, specifically for reading and writing, you're going to want to focus on Part 2 ELD standards, where they're learning how English works, really playing with their sentence building, and then diving in throughout all of these ages and grades into the Part 1 standards, where they're interacting in meaningful ways. So I wanted to give you some encouragement that, depending on the level of students you're working with, how many students you have, what their patterns of language are that you're observing, even in a distance learning format, you can adjust or select your resources accordingly. We are going to be putting out a lot of these new designated ELD lesson menus for every grade span or level. So TK through first grade is done and linked on their page, but we're still working on adding second through 12th grade, which is in draft form. So be on the lookout for those. This will give you an opportunity to see the difference between synchronous and asynchronous lesson options for each ELD standard. We have our reopening plans that we were able to share during a lunch and learn recently that was hosted by ListenWise. So if you're interested in seeing those slides or those videos, I'll show you where to find that. We also have this big question that kind of inspired us to redo our page. How are we going to adjust our face-to-face instruction routines and strategies to meet the diverse needs of our English learners in a distance learning environment? There were a lot of things we learned from last spring. There's a lot of things that we need to replicate that worked well, but there may be a few things that we do differently and adjust for this fall to support our students and our multilingual families. So that is the slideshow at the top. Again, each of those images will take you to the documents that we reviewed. But what I want to do is kind of give you the rest of the page. We've got lots of choice boards from last spring still here, some tips and strategies for distance learning. We still have Create Your Own ELD Adventure, access to different things like our standards, and some reminders to different trainings. So there's a lot of stuff that's still here, but the newest addition our ELD and VAPA resources. Now, we were working with our Canvas course development team over the summer, and Jennifer Dieterman-Lewis, Catherine Cooper, myself, and Rhonda Tyler have been busy working on trying to develop some ELD and VAPA resources. We also had Lee Strange on the team to support the development of kinder through sixth grade resources. Now, we wanted to capture and house them somewhere that in case they didn't quite get added to the Canvas courses right at the beginning of the year, that we had them here available for your access and review. So there are grade level pages, one page per each grade level or grade span for 7 through 12. And we have a main page here that I'm going to show you. So this main page will take you to each of the grade level links again. But we also wanted to really reinforce the Icebreaker activities for the first couple weeks during designated ELD. Please check those out, try those out. We have that freeze dance party video and a link to more amazing videos that you can use as brain breaks and transitions for your team, for your students, and maybe your team as well. This is an example of where the lesson menus will be added. Once those are completed for every grade span, we will have a link here. Now, these designated ELD lesson menus, I'm going to do a quick pause here. For a standard like exchanging information ideas with others, every grade level has this standard. We've listed the building to bridging standard for that grade level, as well as included some scaffolds to consider to use, especially for newcomers or emerging students. We've got some synchronous lessons and activities here versus then some asynchronous options that you could plug into your choice boards or your assignments for the week. So that's what you're going to get for every grade level, every standard that you have, some ideas there. Now, if you want to go into your specific grade level, so I'm going to start with TK and Kinder here, then you're going to have lots and lots of options and choices for your ELD. Again, depending on the number of English learners you're serving and what proficiency level they are in currently. So at the top, we're going to be putting those ELD lesson menus. That is a multiple page document with standards listed. Again, we're still working on grades 2 through 12. Those are coming soon. You'll see your grade spans Icebreaker Activities, again, with a link to the original document if you want to visit that. Some really great videos that we're going to be adding, again, from our music team, who are going to be working alongside our team to create some content that can be integrated into our core instruction, as well as our designated ELD instruction. We've got some ideas on how to transform a mentor text into an ELD or VAPA lesson. Specifically, if you're already reading a mentor text or a really great text, you'll want to reread it again with your English learners, and you can do so many things to really hit a lot of those standards. So we have some PD and some content coming soon. This is a little teaser there. We have some VAPA activities and some menus for different grade levels that Catherine Cooper and Jennifer Dieterman-Lewis have been helping with. So want to give you an opportunity to click on that and find some other options that you can use during designated ELD if it hits the standards and skills that you're looking for. as well as some very beautiful images that Jennifer Dieterman Lewis and the team have been gathering that can be used to practice. For example, the LPAC task type, talk about a scene. There's the visual thinking strategies, which you'll see listed here, that you can practice with your students, even during a transition. You could have maybe an image showing when your students first log into your distance learning lesson, and you could be, having a quick exchanging of information and ideas with others at the very beginning, or maybe at the end of your synchronous lesson. And then for asynchronous options, again, each grade level will have a link or access to their choice board from last spring. We did not make updates to the actual activities, but we definitely want you to be able to take those templates and plug them into whatever learning management system you have, and make it work for your students and your families. So there's a lot of new information here. Again, I want to quickly go through the path to get to all of these resources on the homepage. You get to the ELD menu or button. It will take you to a menu of options. We have grade level pages. I want to show you an upper grade one here. Actually, let me go to first grade, because we do have some Canvas resources in here as well. So you'll see Icebreaker Activities, videos. This is the Canvas course ELD toolbox. We have one for first, second, and third grade, and then some other VAPA activities and resources. Again, a link to the choice board from last spring if you would like to use that, and some other resources that are coming soon. So hope you enjoyed this tour. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm available through email, phone call, text. Please check with your ELSA contact too if you need to schedule any training or additional support. All right, have a great day. Good luck this year, and I will see you next time.